Hi there and welcome back to Pierpoint Custom Rod Building and Repair. In this video I'm going to show you how to attach a reel seat to the butt section of your rod. On this butt section I've already done the butt guide attachment with a nice little wrap there. So what we're going to do is concentrate on the reel seat area. So what I've done, I've already put a piece of shrink tube on my butt section. Need to find a reel seat to fit. So somewhere in the region of 30mm, which is what this one is. So make sure you slide that on and that it fits. Okay, and on this particular one, I just want to make sure it comes right up to that shrink tube. Maybe just comes over a couple of mil. And then when it goes on, make sure that your brackets with the reel seat are aligned to the butt guide. And then I've just put a little bit of masking tape on there with a yellow mark with my Chinograph pencil to make sure that I line that up. A couple of things that you need to do before you start. Make sure that you cover the ends of your reel seat in masking tape to protect it from the epoxy resin, and you can also need to put a piece on the thread end as well. So make sure you wind the nut down out of the way, and just quite simply, you know, one turn of masking tape is enough to protect that, and make sure you don't get epoxy resin on it. So that's all prepared, ready to go. Now I need to protect my shrink tube as well. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple of strips of masking tape just around the shrink tube. Hopefully you can see that, because once the reel seat goes on, it's going to expel a little bit of excess epoxy. So I just want to protect that shrink tube because it's very difficult to clean up. Okay, so we're almost ready to go. Now just confirm, reel seat fits, slides on quite nicely. It's going to go in there. There's my position with the mark. Okay, so it's going to finish up about there. Make sure you mark the bottom end of where the reel seat is, because your epoxy resin is going to go in that bit there. Confirm with the customer that you want the winding nut down or up, and on this particular one we're going to go reel seat nut locking down. Okay, so it's a 30mm diameter reel seat. A couple of additional things is make sure you clean up the inside to get rid of any dust, dirt and debris, which I've already done. The inside is already serrated, but some rod builders like to scuff the inside to give a better adhesion with the epoxy resin. Okay, so that's all done, prepared and ready to go. I'm going to epoxy between these two marks here. So first of all, you need to make sure that the width of your masking tape is going to cover this area. So I'll just give you a little bit of a demonstration here. So I know that my masking tape is roughly going to fit around about those four key areas there, equally spaced, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, because this reel seat is just a little bit too big for the butt section, so there's a little bit of play in that. So you need to make sure that you have some masking tape wound around there to grip the reel seat to the butt section. Okay, so we're going to start doing that. So we're going to start at this end, and you need to make a number of what I call winds. You can use that yellow mark so you know exactly how many winds you're putting on. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit of time, so you need to count them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll start with 5, see how we get on. Okay, just take these off for now, because we need to offer that reel seat up to make sure that it's going to fit and that we've got a nice tight grip. So we went 5 winds, and that's just about enough. It's just sliding over the top of that. Okay, so once that epoxy resin goes on there, okay, you just get a nice tight fit with the masking tape that's going to touch the inside edge of that reel seat. So we went 5. Now what you can do, just to make sure, we'll go put an extra one on, so we're going to go 6, and then just see if that still fits, because you want a nice tight fit, because that's the thing that's going to hold that reel seat to the butt section. Now 6 again, that's slightly better fit, so we're going to go 6. Okay, so 6 is just about enough. Okay, so now we've got the ideal number of 6, and then we're going to go 6 turns on the next one. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you might get a slightly tapered butt section. It does take time, so don't rush it. So that's 6, so that's sliding over quite nicely. Okay, it might just be a little bit big on this one, so we're going to put an extra turn on there. Okay, you might get, say, slightly tapered butt there, so we'll make that 7. So we've got a 6 and a 7. That slides over, still got a nice good tight fit, so that's fine. So we've got a 6 and a 7, and then we're going to do the same with the next one. So we're going to make 6 turns on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go 7. Be brave, be bold. So that's 7. Again, just making sure that fits. So we've got 6 and 7 turns, and that's sliding over quite nicely. I'm happy with that. Okay, and then we're going to go the last one down here. So we're going to put 7 turns on that one as well. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So we count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, just make sure that fits. So we're going to go over, and that will go slightly down, just a bit tight there. And it's probably that back one that's just giving a little bit of tightness there, so we just need to go from 7, and then we'll just take that, and just see it's catching there. So we'll take that one off, and then we'll just go down to 6 turns on that one. So it's a bit of trial and error, but just make sure it fits. So there we've got 6 turns on that back end one. Okay, let's just make sure that fits again, and which it does nicely. Okay, nice tight fit, and that will go into there, and that's just about perfect. Okay, a little bit of a pinch point there somewhere. See if, and normally you can find that by just a scuff mark on the masking tape. I think that's probably okay. Let's just make one more time. Yep, that's sliding over quite nicely, and that was holding that. In there. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is make up our epoxy resin. So it's a 2-part epoxy, and you've got the Ultimate Epoxy 15, so it'll last about 15 minutes before it starts going off. So you've got obviously the hardener and the resin itself, and you need to mix that together. So in the next part of the video, I'm just going to show you how to do that, how to get it on there, and then how to slide that reel seat on. So back in a mo.